All right, so let's do this again. So to create a group, we're going to go to Performance. You're going to go to Manage Custom Groups. You're going to go here where it says New Custom Group. So be strategic with your names. So when you name it, if you want to name it, so someone give me a name that would be strategic for your school in terms of what you want to track. Anyone have any ideas? I just want to keep saying those I delete. So let's say you want to do University Terrace ESS. And if you want to do fourth grade, then let's do fourth grade. The problem is you have all the students listed here, but you could filter by courses. So you see you can filter by fourth grade. So you go fourth grade, and then all the fourth grade students showed up. So this fourth grade here will match this right here. So then you just pick some students like this, and then you submit, and you now have a custom group with those fourth grade ESS students. Okay, any questions? All right. Then the view school groups. Let me go ahead and delete. Okay, that's the one I just did. All right, so if there's another group at your school that you want to use as well, all you do is just go here, add to my groups, and now I have two groups, one that someone else created and one that I created. I can edit these groups right here. The one that I just got from Danielle Dickerson, when I edit, it does not affect hers. It's like copying something. You copy one and you give it to yourself, and you can make changes. It won't affect anything else. All right, so any questions on creating a custom group? You go over it again. Someone say something. Hello. All right, Leah Bannister, can we assign a test for a specific group that we created? I don't know the answer to that question. I think the purpose, because there's nowhere in the information that ANet sent does it say anything about that other than tracking data. That's the only thing they indicated. Where is that? So when I go here, remember Danielle, Leah Bannister, you're creating a custom group. Let's see what it says. Custom groups give you the ability to analyze student performance for custom subgroups of students' data. That's all that is. It's just to analyze data. So all you're doing is just putting students in a group so that when you go to to analyze the data, that's all, the information for the data will be just for those students. That's all that is. So your question is also, can we apply accommodations? Not in this custom groups. The custom group, you're putting students in the group only to analyze the data of assessments they've already taken. Does that answer your question, Leah? Okay, I'm assuming it does. All right, so we created a custom group. So let's go look at the data. All right, so the only place, and so every platform has its pluses and its minuses, but the only place that you can utilize that custom group is only in data meetings. Only here. You can't use it anywhere else. It won't. If I go to course, the custom group is not showing up. The only place it shows up is in data meetings. That's the only place. So if you look here, it does mention that somewhere where you would have to go to data meetings only. So when I go here and I click on math, since math was the only assessment we took so far in terms of the diagnostic. When I click on math, notice up here, see at the top right where it has no custom group, the drop-down menu? There are two custom groups, one that I created and one that um, I copied. See, those are my custom groups, it looks like. One that I created and one that I copied from Danielle Dickerson. Let me go back and verify that those were the two I still have. Yeah. So under my custom group, that's what I see. Okay. So if you create a custom group, and it looks like this now, if you create a custom group and no one else copies it, then when you go to math and then this little drop down menu, you will only see what is under, when I go back to manage custom groups, what is under your, where you say view my custom groups, what's under yours. So when you go to math and you go here, those are your custom groups. There's no one else's custom group that someone else created. Okay, any questions on that? Now, if a teacher copies one of yours, then it's going to show up here, but they can edit what they copied. They will not affect what you did. Okay, so we're going to create. We're going to choose a custom group. So let's choose this one. Now remember, these were the fourth grades. So I'm going to go to 2022 math diagnostic. Remember, it was fourth grade, right? So you have to pick a grade. It was fourth grade, so I'm going to leave it as fourth. And I'm going to pick all teachers because I don't know which teachers went with those students. I'm going to put all periods. And remember, cycle 5 is the diagnostic. And then we update. I wouldn't worry about the network. And then this is how those students did. So the average of those students that I chose, their performance on the math diagnostic was 47%. And then it breaks it down into the major standards. And if you want to print the students right here, you want to print the students, the only way that you can print the students, see, I can't do it right now, is to pick a teacher. So you have to pick a teacher to print the students. So let's go here, then I can print all students, and then their score shows up. I mean, their reports. Okay, so any questions on what we did? Ask your questions. So one of the things that you're probably going to have to do, your principals are probably going to have to ask you to do because their EDs are going to ask them to do this, or Dr. Perry's going to ask them to do this, is to determine the performance of the students with disabilities, so the ESS students, let's say. So when you go, just to remind you, when you go to school performance over time by course, let's say, by course, and to get the subgroup data, you're going to have to go to advanced filters. So I'm going to go to 2022 math and then keep it on diagnostic, all courses. When you go to advanced filters, and I wouldn't worry about the network, although other states are showing up. I wouldn't worry about that because you just look at your school anyway. When you go to advanced filters, see where it says school demographics? Right here is students with IEPs. The problem with this is that that's not just students with disabilities. Those are all students with the IEP classification. So you have students with speech deficits, you have students who are gifted, you have students with disabilities, and so on. So if you want to track particular groups of students, like students with disabilities or ESS students, then you would have to do the custom group. There's no way around it. You're going to have to do the custom group. All right, any questions? All right. Mr. Boatner, I know you have a mic. Mr. Boatner.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Boatner?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right, Mr. Boatner, I'm going to pick on you. It's okay if you don't remember. There are other people in here that can help you. I'm going back to the dashboard.
Okay.
How do I go to create a custom group?
First, you go to Performance,
Okay.
then you go to Manage Custom Groups,
All right, right here. Thank you. What else?
and you go to New Custom Group.
New custom group. All right, so I'm gonna and you try and be strategic. If it's a teacher that wants to create a custom group with just her ESS students or his ESS students, you may want to tell that person to go ahead and name it with their name in there, because you can have a if all they do is say ESS fourth, then you don't know which teacher this is, right?
Right.
So you want to be strategic. So you may want to say put your last name, then say ESS. If they want to look at all their students, if they have multiple grades, they can leave it like that. If they want to choose a particular grade, they could do that. And then if it is a teacher, right? If it is a teacher, then they can just click on their own students. So for example, if I click on this teacher right here, then only that teacher student shows up. If I click on this teacher, it looks like, let me do it again. Um, let's see, let me click on this teacher. Yeah, so it changes each time I click on a teacher. So it looks like those students are, when I click on a teacher, it's only their students that shows up. So if I am this teacher right here, then I would say, I guess Corsino, ESS fourth. I, well, if I want fourth, I would do this then, right? So only the fourth grade teachers will show up. Let's do Corsino again. So these are the fourth grade students in Corsino's class. And then she would just pick the students that she wants to track. And then she submits, make sure you submit, so that way it's saved. All right. Thank you, Mr. Bochner.
Yes,
Cheryl.
sir.
Cheryl. Cheryl. Okay, she must be away. Anyone
I'm
else?
sorry, I stepped away.
Oh, it's okay. So Mr. Boatner showed us how to create a custom group. Okay, my next question to you is this: there there is a teacher that just created a custom group, and your principal wants you to add that custom group to yours so you can track the same students. Where do you go? Do you remember? If not, just say, and we'll ask somebody else.
Right, so I talked to Anda earlier, we kind of went over these two applications, and
All right, so Leah Bannister beat you to it, Cheryl. Leah says view school groups. That's right. So go to view school groups, and then you would pick one of whatever group you want to add to yours. All right, so I guess you could, let me just see what happens when I add something I created. So I'm going to add this, and then I'll have these groups. All right, and they can edit. I can edit the ones I just did. It's not going to affect any of these. Okay. All right. Now let's see. Mr. McFadder. I know you have a mic. Oh, maybe he doesn't. Nope. You're not. You need to fine tune your mic. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now I hear you. All right, Mr. McFadder. Tell me what I need to do to. I'm going to go to the one that says dos.ess. So I want to look at the the math diagnostic data for those students that are in this custom group right here. I'm going back to dashboard. Now tell me where to go to look at to look at the data for those students that are in that custom group. Do you remember? Okay, you're having mic issues.
You click on performance,
Okay, click on performance. What else?
and then you're going to click on custom group.
Okay. Let's see what happens when I do this.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry,
It's
not
okay.
custom group. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
And you're looking at math or ELA?
It doesn't matter,
Math.
but I am looking at math though, but it doesn't matter for any custom group, but I am looking
You're
at
going to
math.
click. You're going to click on math. I'm sorry.
Right. So the custom group data, for custom groups, the only data you're going to get are going to be from the data meeting part. So you're going to go to math, and then we're going to have to go up here and do all these fields. So 2022 math diagnostic. It was a fourth grade, so leave it as fourth grade. I'm gonna leave it as all teachers, even though we know that it was Corsino's, right? Leave it as all teachers. Leave it as all periods, cycle, and then these are my custom groups. So those ID .ess. I'm gonna click here, and then we update. And then for those students that were in my custom group, the average performance for the school, well, for those students was 29%. Then it breaks it down to each standard, and that's all it gives you. That's all you get. You don't get anything else. All right. Now, if you want to print the reports, remember to print the reports, you have to pick a particular teacher. So you go to all teachers. Since it Remember that I don't think there were any in Shane Smith. So I want to show you what's going to happen. Let's see what will happen if we pick this teacher. So we print all students. And see there's nothing happening, right? Nothing happened when I click this. I'm going to go back to Corsino, then print all students. And now something happens. So the reason that nothing happened before was because no student in that custom group were in that other teacher's class. They were all in Corsino's class. They were all in that class. That's why it didn't do anything. But that's all it's going to give you. But for something your principal is going to ask you at some point probably is I need to know the average performance of the ESS students. Then this is where you go right here, where it says overall performance and then school. And that's all you do. That's all you have. So it's not like all the other reports where you could get from school performance over time. They're a bit more here, but for custom group using data meeting, that's all you get.
That's why Andrew was wondering if you write
Okay.
the grant by saying.
So any questions?
What do you call it?
All right. Carla Edmond, I think. Are you on a mic? Edwards, Carla Edwards. Okay, anyone on a mic besides the ones I've called on?
Good afternoon, Mr. Dozad. This is Ms. Dickerson. I have a mic.
Oh, and I was using your.
I noticed that when I jumped on.
you were one of the few ones that did custom groups that I saw, so I used yours. Okay, so I'm glad it's you then. I need to go back. So my next question was this: how do I go back to delete what I just created? Do you know that? You know how to create, but do you know how to delete anything?
I think you go to manage custom groups.
Yes.
Oh well,
Yep,
you went back.
No. Yeah, you go
Performance.
Manage.
Manage custom groups.
And then you delete right here.
And delete. Yeah.
So I'm gonna delete all this. So I'm gonna delete. Now so right now, look, when I go to view custom groups, I have the one that Ms. Dickerson created, and then I have the ones that I created. So when you go to view, any person at that school can also track those students that others created by just adding to my groups. So when I delete these, hopefully this is what I'm thinking, that when I delete the ones I just created, then obviously these should be deleted as well. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to delete.
It says that the first
I'll
priority
delete.
is to increase the number of mental health service providers. So it's not-
I'm going to delete. I'm going to delete. All right. God, I hope this works. Oh, it did. All right. So the only thing left is Ms. Dickerson's. That's all that's left. So Ms. Dickerson, you can create a group like you just did. And if your principal wants any other teacher at that school to track that data as well, then all they need to do is add to my groups, and then, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. And then when they do that, that group is now under there. So under their my custom groups, and I don't know if you saw this, but they can go in and they can edit this right here. So I'm gonna remove this and then submit. But that's not going to affect yours. So what I want you to do, Ms. Dickerson, just to verify this, because I can't go in as yours. What I want you to do is to go to your custom group and see if that first student is still there in yours.
Okay, I'll do that now.
Okay. And let me know if it is. Hopefully it is.
He's still there.
All right, good.
Yes, sir.
So whenever someone adds a group that someone else created, that group they can now track, but they can edit. It's like copying something. So you copy it and you can make changes. It's not going to affect anything else. The original. It's not going to affect the original thing you copied. So you can go in there and you can make all these changes. It's not going to matter for the one that you created. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this just to make sure I deleted it. Okay. And that's it. So so I'm assuming that you created this group and you know how to view the data, right, Ms. Dickerson? Or do I need to?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
All
sir.
So the only place you can review, you can analyze the data is on the data meetings right here, and you would probably use and you would use that during the PLCs or whenever you analyze the data with a group of teachers. All right. Anybody else has a question?
So it doesn't help you at all. It's just, right. So the money.
Okay.
Really
So I just wanted to bring that up because there were a couple of you that were asking about the ESS since the when you go to the subgroup data, the IEPs is everyone with an IEP, and there's no way in ANet you can decipher that, so you have to create custom groups. All right. So first thing you had to do was know how to create a group, which we did. We talked about viewing custom groups and about adding a group that's already been created. We talked about once we added it, we could edit. We could edit that group. It's not going to affect the original person's group. We also talked about how to go and look at the data in those custom groups. Notice, I want you to notice something. Do y'all remember when I go to custom groups? When I go to custom groups, I don't have any, right? I do not have any anymore. So when I go to math, you don't see that drop-down menu anymore. Now, Miss Dickerson does, because that group is hers. But I don't see it anymore because I don't have any custom groups. But if I go back and I go to view and add hers to mine, see it's now there, and then I go to math, it's now there. So now this becomes my custom group. Okay? So right now, none of your teachers see this drop-down menu. You probably don't see this drop-down menu unless you created a group. Once they create a group, then they see this drop-down menu. Otherwise, they won't see it. So again, I'm going to just remind you, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to delete it. And then I'm going to go back to math and see it's not there. All right, so you're going to see that drop down menu once you create a custom group. Okay. All right. Anything else? All right. So our next office hours will be Wednesday because we're off Monday and Tuesday. Thank goodness, we're off Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll meet Wednesday around 9 o'clock to continue talking about the fall assessment. All right. So we still have about 2 weeks left on that assessment. All right. So any questions?
Yes, Mr. Doze.
Uh-huh.
Are we supposed to time these assessments like about
No.
90 minutes?
Nope.
No.
They're non-timed. Now, the district does not have any policy against timing these assessments. I've heard that some principals do, some don't. So it's up to your principal. But how much time do you know to give, right?
I was looking at the assessment guide, but the LEAP sessions are shorter than the math interim one assessment. It has about fourth grade has about 20 questions on it.
Uh-huh.
So they would need more than the 75 or 85 minutes that each session
Oh yeah.
allows for LEAP.
Yeah. So you're talking about the two calculator sections and the one or
Right.
two. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm assuming you're asking these questions because your principal wants these timed.
No,
Okay.
I'm the test coordinator, so I was just trying to give the teachers a time frame. I didn't really want them to really go over 90 minutes because
Well, it should only last within. Are you 90-minute blocks?
yeah, we have 90-minute
It
blocks.
shouldn't last more than 90 minutes. And if it
Okay.
does, it just the next day. They may only need 15 more minutes. Just
Right.
I don't think it should last more than 90 minutes.
I was just seeing if there was a recommended time for
There
test.
isn't.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Okay. Okay, let's see. Ms. Boo? Elenita Boo? Ms. Boo? No, sir. She doesn't have a mic either, probably. All right. Miss Lodge?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for having. Thank you for answering. Do you have any questions on this?
No, I don't. I just wanted to chime in to catch the end. I was in another meeting,
Oh,
so I
okay.
was running
Well,
behind.
the information I sent you earlier, I can get to it. This part here, just follow those steps, and I'm going to try and go in and blur all those names. There are quite a few names that we showed throughout. So I'm going to see how long it takes. If it takes more than an hour to, because it takes a long time to edit these videos. So if it takes more than an hour, I'm going to have to tell you to use this thing that ANet sent. And if you have any difficulty, just let me know. You can call me and I'll walk you through it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Did everyone sign in? Let me go ahead and put this back in the chat area. If you haven't signed in, make sure you sign in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it. Have a great weekend, and I will see y'all Wednesday for office hours at 9 o'clock.
Okay, you have a good one.
You too.
Thank you. You too.